Hi, everyone. A few thoughts and concerns concerning the English Schools District's decision about a safe return to school. They're going to have a virtual conference tomorrow, and we'll know more then. What we're going to address right now is continuity of care that our son's school has provided its past 3 years. We've got, of course, kindergarten 1 and 2, and we're just going to run down kindergarten to start off, and because of the length of the time that we're going to need, it's going to be in 3 segments. So we're going to carry on, and feedback would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any thoughts and concerns that you'd like to share, we'll see you in the future. Thank you.
So Monday, September 11th, 2017, first day of kindergarten. 2 weeks in, Friday, September 22nd, Calvin says an older kid pushed him on the playground. He fell down and hurt his back. Mom and Dad weren't called at the time to let us know. So Monday, September 25th, I addressed it with the teacher. She said the administration had gotten involved and a family member of the kid who pushed him was called in to discuss it, as it was completely unprovoked. Friday, September 29th, he was complaining his belly wasn't feeling good from lunchtime onwards. Monday, October the 2nd, the school called to say that he had spots on his hands and it might be hand, foot, and mouth disease. So, of course, I picked him up and we went to the hospital. They did confirm it was hand, foot, and mouth disease, and he would have to stay home for a couple of days as it was contagious. Thursday, November the 30th, he got a bleeding lip at school from one of the other boys bumping into him, and he did tell Daddy that this boy sometimes tries to hurt him. Friday, December the 8th, Calvin told Daddy that another boy had hit him on the thigh at school. Monday, January the 8th, 12:10, call from the school. The kids were coming downstairs from the cafeteria to go back to their classroom. The wheelchair lift on the stairs was out of service and came out and hit Calvin on the shoulder. It left a red mark, but no blood or broken bones. Monday, March the 12th, 11:25, the school called. Calvin had tripped over his feet, smacked his nose and lip on the doorframe of the classroom. His nose was bleeding, but not broken, and he had quite a fat lip. Thursday, March 22nd, the school was only a half day for parent-teacher interview. When I went to pick Calvin up at 11:30 in the morning, the parking lot was full, so I had to circle around and park on the other side of the playground. By the time I got to the door, the kids were already out, and Calvin had walked away from the door and got to a parking area in front of the other school next door. The principal of the school was actually talking to a police officer and didn't see Calvin walk away. Monday, April the 16th, bad bump on the head, running around at the playground, whacked his head on the stairs of the playground. Tuesday, April the 17th, we went into the school after dropping Calvin off and confirmed with the secretary she had passed on a message to the principal that we wanted to talk to him about Calvin leaving the front of the school on the parent-teacher interview day. Wednesday, May the 30th, the school called. Calvin got his feet wet in a puddle and had no dry socks. So we went up to the school with dry socks for him. And when we checked his book bag, he did have extra socks along with the rest of his full set of extra clothes in his book bag. Thursday, May the 31st, scrape on his hand and chin. He had tripped on some rocks on the playground during playtime at school. And that's what we've got for kindergarten.
So to recap a little bit on what was just mentioned, kids are kids. Being kindergarten, there's lots of experience to be gained interacting with other kids, and you're going to get all kinds. You're going to be tested. You're going to be pushed. You're going to make lots of friends. You're going to have wonderful classmates, and you're going to have others. So let's talk about just the just simple accidental running around being reckless. That's all good. You're not going to prevent that. I mean, whether it's kindergarten, whether it's grade 11 or 12, you're going to get that. People acting silly, carrying on, showing off. What we are getting at is the lack of care provided, and I will go in detail a little bit. Let's start with the wheelchair lift that they have at each side elementary. It was broken down for 2 weeks. We researched. It was broken down for 2 weeks, so the wheelchair company never came in to fix their lift. So it was left in from the ground level to the second floor. There was no safety strap to restrain any moving parts. And as anybody knows, if you've ever been around any of these wheelchair lifts, they have heavy moving parts. And there was no safety strap. There wasn't even a sign on it saying that it was out of order. And if in fact anybody had any thoughts or concerns, being in elementary school, that would have been shoved in neutral and brought out of the way until somebody was able to come in to repair or replace. So not having a strap is a complete negligence on the school's part, I believe, to not have it have a safety strap on it and a sign. So they had left it in place for hundreds of kids to be passing in the run of a day, and it happened to be our son that happened to get hurt. Now, we didn't hear about anybody else getting hurt, and we're not saying that nobody else didn't get hurt, because it's quite possible that it did. So we feel that it's negligence. There's a ship being run that's it's not in great condition. The incident about a child walking away from school. Our son hasn't been the only one that walked away from school, and we know of about 3 or 4 other times in the run of that kindergarten year that we've noticed that children has walked away, because where we park sometimes up by the old Humber Elementary, we would see kids walking off by themselves, and we would ask our son, Calvin, do you know that child? And he would say, yeah, they must live close by. And he says, no, their mom or dad usually comes to pick them up. So Calvin would be the one to call out to them and stop them, and eventually a teacher would show up. But I mean, that kid could have been gone. There's somebody on duty, and usually it's more than one, that when classes are out, usually there's a principal there, or the assistant principal, and the teacher of the class that's being let out at that particular point in time. And most of them, for the most part, good for them, they make sure that they get to their guardian or their parent, and they're in safe hands. But to let kids walk away because you're talking to a cop or whoever you're talking to, is complete negligence. And disciplinary action or should be considered, because it's happened more than once, and it's going to continue to happen unless you shape up. Now, back to the bullying. Zero tolerance for this kind of behavior, and it starts at a very young age. Most of the times, it could be gotten from TV, it could be gotten from gaming, it could be gotten from the neighbors up the road, older brothers, older sisters, or the parents. It's concerning when in kindergarten you're going to get picked on, and not that it's allowed to happen, but some of the teachers, I guess they're so busy with other students that they can't watch and see what's going on. all of the time for every student, but there lies a problem. Anyway, yeah, it's concerning, and if you're keeping track on how many things that we know about, that we've documented, it's quite concerning, and it much needed help needs to be provided to have a bit better grasp on your professionalism in your learning institution. Okay, guys, that's it for tonight. We're going to get on to grade 1 the next time we get back on, and it's disturbing. It bothers me a lot that thankfully nothing extraordinarily serious happened, but it's still worrisome that it could be brushed off and, oh, well, we're doing the best we can. Well, if that's the best you can, perhaps there's something else that you should be doing that you could be a little bit better at, and that somebody else who can do the job do it. Anyway, have a great night. See you next time around.